Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new 7-inch scale Pulp Fiction figures from Diamond Select Toys. Now this first wave of figures includes the characters Jules Winfield, Butch Coolidge, and Marcellus Wallace. And each figure comes packaged in a standardized binder-like packaging. You've got the figures clearly displayed. Off to the side you've got the names of the characters, and down below you've got the Pulp Fiction movie logo. On the sides of the packaging with these you have large images of each of the figures. And then on the back of the packaging you have again a look at each of the figures in the wave and a brief bio for each character. So again, Jules Winfield, Butch Coolidge, and Marcellus Wallace. Alright, let's get these open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at all three figures outside of the packaging along with their other contents. Now all three figures are hitting comic and specialty shops now, and I just want to say a big thanks to the folks at Diamond Select Toys for sending me these figures so I could review them for you guys. So each figure comes with a number of different accessories, including diorama based pieces, and we'll start off looking at the Jules figure and its accessories. So first of all, he comes with this diorama piece that's made to look like the apartment that you see in the movie. So it comes in two pieces when you take it out of the packaging, and you just basically you got these little pegs and you just slide the wall piece over them, and they should click into place and fit nice and tight. And so you've got this green wall with some texturing. It's a hard plastic, and you've got some bullet holes sculpted in there, and you've got the light over here. One of the light bulbs are missing, and it's done with just kind of a gold paint. Not a whole lot of paint detail on the light or anything. And then you've also got the light switch. And then on the floor you've got some blankets on the floor and a suitcase and some fast foods, and you can see there's some french fries inside the bag there. All of this is hard plastic, so it's all sculpted in hard plastic. And there are no pegs on these, so you just have to kind of sit the figures on them. They don't actually have pegs to stand the figures on, which would be nice, but you can get them, the figures stand pretty good overall, so it's not a big deal. Now besides the diorama piece, Jules also comes with 2 hamburgers. I can't remember if these were supposed to be Big Macs or cheeseburger royales, whatever you want to call them, but one is half eaten and then the other one is whole, and you can see some lettuce and mustard and the hamburger patty on each one. And then he also has a drink that he's holding in his hand when you take it out of the packaging, and you can remove it from his hand. So this looks very much like the one that's on the floor, the diorama base. And you got the straw, which is done with a thin plastic, and you got just the red stripe on the cup. So it looks like he's enjoying a tasty beverage. He also comes with the briefcase that you see in the movie. Now the briefcase itself does not open, and I never really knew. I think it was supposed to be a running theme through various Tarantino movies of what was actually in this case. In Pulp Fiction they open it and you just see the bright light, but I never actually knew what was actually in it, and I don't know if they actually ever revealed it in one of the other movies or not, but I was always curious what was actually in this case. But this doesn't open, so it doesn't reveal anything inside. It's just a solid piece, and it's done with a dark brown plastic, and then you've got some gold paint on the front here for the lock mechanisms, and then you've got the handle that stands out, and it's a solid plastic. And then he also comes with a pistol. Now he doesn't have a holster for the pistol. The pistol is done with a metallic silver, and you got the black on the handle, and pretty nice sculpting detail. Like I say, he doesn't have like any kind of holster or anything, which I don't think you really saw one in the movie, but if you want, you can his coat is a separate piece that's done with that vinyl material, and it's tight enough, it hangs tight enough to the figure that you can kind of tuck it in there, and it'll stay in there pretty good. And he'll hold the pistol nice and tight in his right hand. Now the left hand is basically made just for holding that soda cup. He can also hold the hamburgers in the left hand. Now the Butch and Marcellus figures, they each come with sidewalk diorama pieces, and they actually connect together to kind of recreate the scene in the movie where they run into each other in front of the shop. So these are done again with a hard plastic, and you got some nice sculpting detail with the lines in the sidewalk, and you got a little bit of grass going through the cracks, and you got some drainage vents. Same with this one, you got some nice sculpting detail. The larger one is the one that comes with Marcellus, and the smaller one comes with Butch. And these just connect together. You've got the little pegs on the smaller piece, and then you've got the holes on the larger piece, and then you just match them up. And they should slide in and fit nice and tight. Now again, there's no pegs on these bases, so you just have to kind of set the figures on top, but they stand pretty well, so as long as you're not moving the shelf or the table that you're setting these on too much, then they will stay standing pretty good. Besides the diorama piece, Marcellus also comes with a pistol, and this is done with a metallic silver, and you've got the black on the handle, and I like the sculpting detail. Now the bottom of the trigger guard is missing on the gun. I think that's how it was designed. It's actually the figure's holding it when you take it out of the packaging, and I don't think I snapped that bottom piece off when I took it out of his hand or anything. It doesn't look like it. But he does have a trigger finger. He holds it best in his left hand, and he does have a trigger finger, so it kind of just slides down into the trigger finger like that. So I think that's how it was designed, and he does hold it nice and tight. You can get it in the right hand if you wanted to, but again, he's meant to really hold it in his left hand. And then finally, Marcellus also comes with this box of bakery goods with 2 coffee cups on the top. The coffee cups are basically sculpted, so they won't come off or anything. And this is just a solid piece of plastic. The box is painted pink, and then the cups are painted white. And you do have some detailing even on the top of the cup, so it does look like actual coffee cups. And then you just set it on top of his hand so it looks like he's carrying it down the sidewalk. And then finally with Butch, he's got the 2 open hands, and then he comes with an extra right hand, and this is for holding the sword. These hands that are attached to the figure almost look like they're made for gripping a motorcycle. It's too bad that they didn't include a chopper. That would have been really cool. I'm sure that would have made the figure more expensive, but still it would have been cool nevertheless. But just to switch out the hands, you just pull off the hand you want to replace, and then you got the little peg on the hand and the hole in the arm, and then you just plug it in and it fits nice and tight. And then like I said, this alternate right hand is made for holding the sword that he comes with, and this is the sword that you see him use in the movie. And I like the detailing on the sword. You've got the metallic silver plastic, and then you've got a little bit of metallic gold here at the bottom, and then you've got the black with some sculpting detail and the metallic gold on the handle. So it looks pretty true to the sword that we see in the movie. Okay, so for the figures themselves, starting with Jules, and this is probably my favorite character of the 3 they've done, and I really hope we do get a Vincent Vega coming in the series, hopefully with Wave 2. And overall, I think they've done a pretty good job of capturing Samuel L. Jackson's look with this figure. My only minor complaint is the left eye on my figure, I think is a little bit off. Now, you can tell the way they tried to do it is this eye is supposed to be a little bit wider open than the right eye, but I just think that maybe the pupil is off a little bit, and it just looks a little funny to me when you look at it straight on. But otherwise, again, I think they've done a pretty good job of capturing Samuel L. Jackson's look with the figure, with the jerry curl. I like the sculpting detail with that, and he's got the goatee and everything, and the chops down the side. So I think that looks good. The suit looks good. The coat piece is done with that rubber type material, and it's a separate piece. The sleeves of the coat are sculpted. The tie is sculpted. It doesn't even move on the figure like, say, with a Marvel Legends or something. It's just sculpted plastic down the shirt, and then you've just got the white suit shirt underneath. You got some detailing with the belt, and then he's just got the black pants and the black shoes. With the Butch figure, again, I think they've done a pretty good job of capturing Bruce Willis's look with it. Again, the eyes, the pupils in the eyes maybe are a little bit off. It looks like he's kind of looking upwards, which looks a little funny, but overall I think they've done a pretty good job with the sculpting detail. He's got the 5 o'clock shadow, and then he's got the receding hairline. So again, I think that all looks pretty good. I like the skin tone, and then he's got the jacket. The jacket again is a separate piece, and it's zipped up halfway, and then the sleeves of the jacket are actually sculpted. And then he's just got the blue jeans, which has some wash effect, and then the tennis shoes, which look like, they're definitely worn tennis shoes. So I like the paint detail on this figure overall. And then finally with the Marcellus figure, I think this is probably the best looking figure of the 3. There's really no fault as far as the head sculpt goes. I think it looks dead on to the actor Vin Rames, and I like how he's got the earrings with the metallic gold, and I think the eyes look pretty good on this one. Good skin tone. He's got the smooth bald head. He's wearing that orange shirt that's buttoned up all the way. Again, with the jacket, it's done with that kind of rubber material, and it's a separate piece. And then you've got the sleeves that are sculpted. And then he's got the pants that match the jacket. And he's got the black belt with the gold buckle. And then he's got the dark dress shoes. So again, overall nice detailing. My only minor complaint comes with the joints here on the elbow are a little bit lighter color than the rest of the jacket. So depending on how you have the figure posed, those do stand out a little bit. But that's just a minor complaint. Otherwise, I think this is a very nice looking figure. So all 3 figures are pretty close in height. The Marcellus figures may be a little bit shorter than the Butch and the Jules figures, but all 3 stand close to about 7¼ inches tall. Honestly, I don't have much to give you a comparison for with these figures, but I thought just for fun, I'd show you the Bruce Willis figure along with a couple of other 80s action stars, the Sylvester Stallone Rocky figure and the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator figure. Both are 7-inch figures from NECA Toys. So for articulation, it's the same across the board for all three figures. You can turn the head to the left and to the right, and you've got pretty good up and down movement with the heads. Oh, and I forgot to mention on the Marcellus figure, you've got the Band-Aid on the back of the head, so nice detailing with that. And then with the arms, you can get the arm out all the way. It's attached with the ball hinge joint. You've got good rotation there at the arm. You do not have a bicep swivel, and you have a single hinged elbow, but you still get pretty good bending with the elbow, and you do have rotation there at the elbow. You've got rotation at the wrist, and then you've got hinges on the hands, so you've got some up and down movement with the hands. You don't have a midsection joint. You do have a waist swivel. You've got those side hinge type joints, so they can do the splits good, and you can get the leg forward pretty good, and you can do the leg back pretty good as well. You've got a thigh swivel, you get a double jointed knee with these, and then you've got hinges on the feet, so you get some up and down movement, and you do have ankle pivot with these, and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I think all three figures are pretty nice. I like the sculpting detail in all three. I think they've done a good job of capturing the actors' likenesses with them. I do have a few minor complaints when it comes to the paint, primarily with the Jules figure and that left eye. I do think it looks a little bit off. Hopefully it's just with my figure and not across the board with all of them. Also, the eyes are a little bit off on the Butch figure, and then the paint applications on the hinge joints on the elbows for the Marcellus figure are a little bit different shade of color than the rest of the jacket. But all in all, I would say pretty minor complaints, and again, I do like the sculpting detail with these figures. So if you're a fan of Pulp Fiction, I think you'll definitely want to check these out. Now, these figures are hitting comic and specialty shops. We'll have a full image gallery up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. And also, please hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.